I am not a doctor, and I do not guarantee that playing games will cure depression. All recommendations from this video are purely anecdotal, with hopes that you, the viewer, can find a game to distract you from life's demanding circumstances while navigating through depression. I bet that at some point during high school or college, you wrote an argumentative paper on why video games made a positive impact on those who played, and mental health made a good portion of the paper. However, nowadays we're left with a bunch of non-practical content all over the internet on this topic that starts with according to blah blah blah. Not in this video. You're getting all games. Games that helped me through some tough times in my life, with hopes that it can be a distraction to your depressive state as well. Valley B Gaming here. Subscribe if you're digging the content. I've got to spend a few seconds on what we're not going to mention, one of which is cozy games. There are a lot of channels discussing why Minecraft, Animal Crossing, and unpacking a digital room is chill, but I'm aiming for more of a general core gamer audience. And the second is competitive multiplayer. Look, sports game and COD are okay from time to time, but due to the volatile nature of winning and losing,
I'm eating my french fries right now.
in correlation with one's mental state, I'm in more favor of games with steady progression, good gameplay loop, and completion in mind. Lastly, I recommend a handheld docking solution such as the Nintendo Switch, Steam Deck, or ROG Ally, etc. Because playing a game that helps your depression should not be limited to one TV corner in your home. Rather, it should be played where you feel relaxed. Without further ado, here we go. Number 1 is SteamWorld Dig 1 and 2. I was in a situation where work felt uninspiring. A classic case of the people I work for are idiots and make my job a lot harder, hence I had a case of depression. At the time, I recently got a Switch and was looking for smaller games to play so I can rotate from Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. Thus, I downloaded SteamWorld Dig. At first, I found it to be too simple, but then the gameplay loop of digging, mining all kinds of jewels to sell, and getting better digging equipment had a very satisfying impression on me. My ability to dig faster and more efficiently was a reminder of how far I've gotten. The topper was having my favorite podcast to listen to while digging. This was one of my first podcasts and play kind of games which unlocked something in my life I was never familiar with: therapy. This is all before finding out there was a second SteamWorld Dig, which I downloaded right after beating the first one. It was, of course, bigger and better. Overall, SteamWorld Dig is a series that I can't stop thinking about. It was a distraction I looked forward to after work or during any alone time I could carve out. With bright colors, great 2D sprites, and simple but pleasing gameplay, SteamWorld Dig 1 and 2 can potentially help with depression or a constant state of downtrodden, especially when coupled with your favorite podcast or audiobook. Next, we have Borderlands 1 through 3 as a single player experience. I'll leave it up to you if you want to buddy up. Borderlands is a shooter RPG hybrid that everyone should know about, right? This means you will see progression in your stats, but also you will see progression in the countless weapons you will wield over the course of the game. While the story could be hit or miss, the gameplay is not. The moment the gameplay starts to get mundane, boom, you have another awesome gun that'll mow down enemies in great visual fashion. This type of gameplay loop is fresh and rewarding. I know friends who will play this game over and over, and factually speaking, it even approaches a Skyrim number of releases, and I'm certain that it will come to next-gen consoles as well. This game will not go away because people won't stop playing it. It was a great game to play during lunch break at work via Switch. I wasn't as depressed as I was during my SteamWorld Dig days, but I did have a lot of anxiety about where I wanted my life to go in my career as a recently married man, thinking about potential kids. Not to mention, we're living in a fresh and fit Andrew Tate world, so I gotta get me a Bugatti, or my wife's gonna leave or practice hypergamy and leave me for Drake. Just kidding, married a good one, y'all. But seriously, as men, it's very easy to overthink and stress out about every aspect of our lives. And depending on how secure you feel from day to day, you can easily go down the rabbit hole of depression and unworthiness. Trust me, I know. So, while you are gaining your confidence back, a game like Borderlands can serve as a mindless shooter that can suppress your thoughts enough to to hopefully figure some things out and bounce back. Before I recommend my last game to aid with depression, please let me know if you would like to see more videos like this in the comments below. I have many other games to share in this subject and would be more than happy to keep them coming. Alright, so for the last game, Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered. We're gonna go full RPG on this one. First and foremost, this is a game that ages incredibly well, mainly because of the quality of life mechanics, toggle fights on and off, configure option menus to get EXP or more money, gil. These mechanics make it one of the most approachable RPGs ever made with little to no downside. But Val, isn't that cheating? The grind is supposed to be difficult, and that's the fun part, right? I challenge that thinking because the goal is to enjoy playing the game, and Square Enix proved this by putting that responsibility in your hand as a grown adult. For example, back when the Final Fantasy series came out, the devs determined what your fun looked like. They determined how many battles you would get in, the experience you were given. As a kid, with all the time in the world, we ate it all up. However, as a grown-up with over 40-hour work weeks and other life circumstances to worry about, getting into battle every 3 seconds with minimal experience points given hits different, as the young folks say. By Final Fantasy III, I cranked the EXP up, getting more money, and I increased my speed walk and began streamlining through the game. I enjoyed grinding and seeing progress faster, which gave me more time to explore the towns, find the secret weapons, and do more quest lines. This game gave me autonomy, and I was able to set it up in a way where my time was more valued. If you're looking for a chill game in the midst of your high anxiety gaming rotation, again, or depression, look no further. This is one of the best remastered games ever created and a must play if you are a fan of Final Fantasy. That's it for now, guys. I hope at least one of these 3 games help you out during your depression phase. If you're depressed and watching this, just know that I'm rooting for you to get back on your feet better than you've ever been. But in the meantime, vibe out to those games, my boy.